the Kerala people, all the progressive democratic forces in Kerala wholeheartedly welcomed the Supreme Court judgment upholding the entry of all women, irrespective of their ages, into Sabarimala temple. The Sabarimala question earlier, all people were allowed to, irrespective of their gender, irrespective of their caste, religion, all were allowed to enter, all were entering Sabarimala. And it is only in 1991 High Court judgment by the then High Court Judge Paripurnan, Justice Paripurnan, who legally banned the entry of women between 15 and 50 years of old. This question comes in the wake of the ascendancy of the Brahmanical forces, their hold over the Sabarimala temple. Wherever the Brahmanical forces, the Savarna forces are having their hold, as a general rule, there the low caste people and the women are denied their rights. Historically, Kerala gained the entry of all people into temples, low caste people, especially Avarna people. This entry was facilitated by very militant struggles led by erstwhile communist leaders. And Kerala has a tradition of democratization even in worship also. But today, the reactionary forces are bouncing back. And the Kerala situation is such that the ruling CPIM-led government, they, instead of taking a bold position of implementing the Supreme Court order, they initially took an ambivalent position that siding with the progressive forces, apparently siding with the progressive forces on the one hand, and at the same time pampering the Hindu sentiments for the sake of votes. This created the problem, and the situation was actually exploited by the Brahmanical RSS Hindutva forces to their advantage. Now, after a time, when the High Court again upheld, based on a petition from the reactionary forces, the High Court again upheld the Supreme Court order that during the last 3 days, 2 or 3 days, the Pinarayi government has come strongly against the reactionary forces who created obstructions and problems in Sabarimala. So our perspective is that the right to worship, the right to enter a temple, as far as we communists are concerned, it is none of our business. But in a particular context, when the right to enter a temple is obstructed or the right to worship is obstructed, that's a democratic question. So therefore, we uphold the women's right to enter the temple in the name of their purity. The women are denied because those forces, those reactionary, the Hindutva forces who are upholding Manusmriti, they are using their rules of Manusmriti to ostracize, to avoid the women as well as the low caste people entering Sabarimala. One more point, the Sabarimala is actually owned by the tribal community, the Malayarias, the mountainous people. They owned the Sabarimala.
You can little explain about that.
That earlier, the Sabarimala was not at all connected with the Hindutva tradition. It has nothing to do with the Brahmanical tradition. Sabarimala actually belongs to the Buddhist tradition, and as per the written history, the Malayarias and the mountainous people, tribes, they were having control of the Sabarimala for almost until a century back. But it is the ascendancy of the Hindutva forces and the formation of the state, the coming into being of the Devasam board, that is managing the affairs of the Sabarimala, that these Savarna Hindutva forces and the Brahmanical forces have their hold. So they ousted the traditional tribes who had their control over Sabarimala, and now these people are demanding a good thing. a positive development is that the tribal community, the low caste people, the deprived people, the oppressed caste in Kerala how are becoming conscious of their rights, how they were exploited, how they were ostracized, how they were excluded from the mainstream, and therefore they are now uniting. They have no concern about their rights, and they are now becoming stronger and stronger. And even though a temporary negative atmosphere is created, in the coming days, it is the oppressed, it is the democratic forces, it is the progressive forces who are going to gain from this struggle, and their consciousness has been risen by this offensive on the part of the rightist forces. So it is a positive development that is coming for the future. This is our perspective.
How they are diverting the real issue, the BJP and Congress are now they are diverting the real issue facing the people. Now, actually, they have to implement both BJP and Congress. They have to obey the rules of the Supreme Court. But for the diversion purpose, they are using the bhakti for how they are using that.
Actually, the Supreme Court order should be seen in the context of several representations to the court from the very same people. For example, it is known that the RSS affiliated people went to the Supreme Court for implementing, for asking the, demanding the entry of women to Sabarimala. Once they got the order, they used it as a double-edged weapon. So they got the order from the Supreme Court, and after getting the order, when the government willy-nilly came forward for implementing it, they obstructed it, and they used it as a alibi, as a contest for organizing the rightist forces in favor of vote banks. Now the RSS and the BJP in India as well as in Kerala is confronting a very serious challenge from the people, because the people are facing so many livelihood problems, so many real issues. All these problems could be diverted easily by taking up this question. And the Congress also is actually have become a B team of the BJP in Kerala. Now the BJP is gaining more than the Congress, and by supporting the BJP, the Congress has reduced as a B team. It is just like what happened in the case of the Babri Masjid episode. There the Congress government led by Narasimha Rao provided all facilities, all situation. The military was actually given protection to the hooligans who destroyed the Babri Masjid. So the same approach is taken by Congress here. When the reactionary BJP, when the reactionary Hindutva, Brahmanical forces are coming with their ulterior, with their reactionary motives, instead of taking a different perspective, the Congress also is in search of vote banks, is supporting the BJP demand. Therefore, the Congress is also actually being degenerate, is being become reduced, and the gain has gone to BJP now. So, regarding CPIM, they actually failed to ideologize the people. They failed to politicize the people. The CPM cadres are depoliticized. So the same cadres are used by RSS people and the CPM people today. Because the de-ideologized, the depoliticized cadres of CPIM, they are used by the RSS also. And the same cadres are used by CPM also. And that is the drawback of the present situation. And the CPM having no alternative to the system, and they are also gaining because of this Sabarimala issue, because so many problems, the flood question, so many issues are there. And the CPM is going after foreign forces, World Bank, ADB, etc., for funding the post-flood construction. And therefore, the people are actually should know all these things. But instead of giving because of this problem, because of this CPM, the Sabarimala issue, using it as a cover, the CPM is going in for a reconstruction of Kerala in favor of the corporate classes, in favor of the big landowners, in favor of the big speculative classes, real estate builders seeking loans and grants from ADB and World Bank and implementing their conditionalities. Actually, we should know that the flood has become so serious in Kerala not because of the amount of rainfall alone. Compared with the 1924 rainfall, this time only half of the rainfall was there. But the situation became so grave because of the after effects, because of the unfavorable intervention in nature, because of the construction along river banks, because of the demolition of the Western Ghats, because of quarrying, and because of all corporate onslaught on Western Ghats and the nature, that the flood gas became so serious for Kerala people. So, instead of reversing these pro-corporate, instead of reversing these anti-nature, instead of reversing these anti-people policies, by seeking funds and loans from foreign sources, the CPM is bent on implementing the very same development model which has created these floods. So the situation is becoming serious in that sense also. So this question is also now camouflaged or covered up by the Sabarimala issue.